So echachibuza mu capacity.
Ngari promoting a music in Africa.
Yeah, that's why I say this is when we go wrong with our opinions. We're just being too entitled. You get. Album is 1 week old, honestly. Isn't it 1 week or 2 weeks old? Which they get
coming to 2 now.
It's coming to 2 weeks old, honestly. So, who designed that law? Until when you drop it today, you have to fly the next day. So for you, because you're in the wars are limited, or you're gonna be adapting. The idea is, baby has time to do a media tour. He spoke. Byavana kusaga, emuganda ngondideko sente bichi. Nemwate sente ziliwa zenkoze eki. Nambuza how's the plan? Nemunyonyola, we've been speaking from when the Nambuza era ne wena soko album ya ina fulma Feb ne waji pushing. He knew about it. You get the distro head speaks with Propa all the time. And they even speak. I'm just seeing how we spoke to James. This is what we agreed. He had these ideas. So if the distro from a level speaks to him direct, it means they have a rapport because he works with the DSP, so they speak to him. Now ideas representing, because that's his office. When the album drops, the next day, album ya follow me bichi. These things are there. Me and Bebe twino butakanya bwaffe
or beliefs, political beliefs.
Yeah, political beliefs, but I'll speak about the album. Feel that his opinion is biased by the time that he makes such a submission. Now here is a sound that Bebe has been doing for 25 years. He's dumping that sound. He's an upcoming mupya new sound eno jakola karate established Bebe Joshua. Because he does it normally. Bebe has to live into that kind of culture. Me, I feel he's angry over something. And as a friend, I told him, I think you're pissed. But if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it.
Welcome to Kasuku Live. It is the tough combination. Jenkins Mukasa,
yes,
alongside Bad Bad to the East Africa.
The global traveler original international.
Yes, Sebo. Right now.
Let's ride.
Requesting a idea now. Right now, Mujira Mubudde. One way to this is that.
Ride now. Let's ride.
Okay, assalamu alaikum abatulaba ku Vibe Life UG tubaniriza yona gye musinzira okubanga mutulaba ze Bat Badru worldwide. Mwebale nnyo mwebale ddala ke East African yakola East African yafa yampa gundi so bush dead. So tuyingiddewo tuli Platinum Wellness Power ne Munyonyo tuze kwogera mu kone Bushingtone voice producer tuli ne bush tuze kunyumya mbuko. Remember, more registering spaza mwe ku myspyug.com website app obenga spy listed wonna wobo mu Uganda yonna spy osobola giteekako nti omuntu waba aginonya agiraba mangu enamba y'esimu gy'okubako omukono ne ugenda maaso.
Waliwo Spotify ya spa.
Waliwo Spotify ya spa nti oteekako gwe spayo bush waba ayagala ndi namugongo ng'oteekamu myspyug.com ekulaga namugongo wo space
abo bagaba gondi home services
then never bamasus abatherapist bana bali aba mobile nabo bewandiisa naye omukebera kono ogamba ani bifana ebibaako n'ogamba ono yayina engalo ezigonda kajja nyige Basically,
happy ending.
But professionals, I mean, if you against we happy ending, that was serious. Yes, you watch Mutute. Nenga bigenda bicha producer. Muchapa, bitambola.
Yeah, bitambola.
The talk is break the chains. The album. Etambula etya so far.
Yeah, so for me, I'm okay with how we moved. Because, maybe we've not some things didn't go as I wanted them to go, especially in the pre, not the post. But yeah, we are good. We are, everything I planned and ever imagined. At least 80% we've achieved. Talkability. When you're creating an album, you have to have good PR for the album because you're doing a product sale. So have they talked about the album? Yes,
they have.
Have people understood how to roll out an album? Maybe they can pick a leaf. Because the issue wasn't kola nyimbezo. The issue was, how do you plan the album? It's a whole project. It's not just the A&R of being in studio and creating the music. How do you market the music? How do you get it there? How do you let people know that this is coming?
So there's a plan, plan.
So to me, and that's where I feel most of our artists have been lacking. Again and also we shall talk about the A&R part of it, of aligning to make sure the sonics are close to each other. The sound is unique. It's not. Yes, there is no rule in anything, but there are some benchmarks that tewali teeka nti lyankali nti lya kooti nti olina kwambala bwoti oba olina kukola bwoti, naye ate waliwo benchmarks nti gundi yakikola bwekiti nekikola ne gundi nakikola. So tukopeeyo enkola oba onfuna, and that's where most of your critics go wrong with most of the creative opinions that they have. The creative world has no specific rules. We just have benchmarks that we choose to adapt, or we don't choose to adapt. So to me, most of the biggest challenge is try to solve obusuuzi bwakoyo, and also the follow-up, the creating part, the build-up, and then the release. We've not been giving it enough emphasis, and it's key. People drop albums and even don't know to go get an album. Akola because the Facebook post nagamba nata album. So what may be a request our talents is revise your plans. Once you're creating such, it takes time to really create an album.
Because we for instance, emphasis at album of 40 something songs, and yes, we heard about emphasis at album and
and like I said, there is no rule. There is no rule on how things should be done. There is just benchmarks. You benchmark from someone. Nti bati chintu chali successful. Wachi nangisikopa bati chiyakola. So because band bush as they going to benchmarking ide ku bati, it started becoming like an invisible template. But tewali teka. So yes, ayinza okuba ye bwatu we yali akyagala. Or ayinza okubanga there is a certain market or a certain audience ye gye yateekako emphasis. But Ngagotoli part of that. Oh, it's a budget issue. At the end of the day, what we want is not to do our work to Mukweke. We need to get our work out there. Ainzo Kubanga, he has a fan base. Very active. Consuming a music way. Alinabo in the direct engagement. Yeah, there are those artists in the direct engagement. I remember Kenneth is one of them. We used to bring in a national theatre and mulaba. Nenga ina abantu bebiri bisatu bina nga bamanyi bulima natuka nga nze mupya nga simanyi nenga chaliwa nenga simanyi nyimba ze nga sinti sizimanyi because me I'm a commercial consumer mbere eno ninze chi trending, but him nga yimbe nyimba ze they are not recorded. Azikuba ku guitar. He writes, I wrote this song in the morning, before 3-4 fan factory nights, people know it. So he has that fan base. But again, he exported it to the mainstream. So to me, I feel it's a nice template to adopt to market this effort that you've put in studio. To me, I feel, I feel it will add something to your product if you put it out there. Yes, you might achieve it without even doing anything, but I feel there are more advantages when you put it in bantu. Yeah.
Okay, ekyo tukitegedde kaakati over the week twafuna interview okuva omu ku ba digital marketeers mu Uganda, omwami James Propa, and he had a lot of concerns ku album nga bwe bitambula essaawa zino. On the release of the album, James Propa ng'abuuza why is Bebe Cool still in Kampala, lwaki tali London, Nigeria oba US, because that's the target market yanoonya.
On the release of the album,
bw'amala releasinga bw'ati days after, lwaki teyalibuukirawo the next morning ogenda.
So ekyo akibuuza mu capacity ki?
Ng'ali mu promoting music mu Africa.
Yeah, that's why I say this is where now we go wrong with our opinions. We're just being too entitled. You get, album is 1 week old, honestly. Isn't it 1 week or 2 weeks old? Which they get
Coming to 2 now.
It's coming to 2 weeks old, honestly. So, who designed that law? Until when you drop it today, you have to fly the next day. There is no rule.
Ebingeri gye batambula babiraba engeri abantu gye
ate batambula waffe gye tutagenda yambulira ensi gye yali agenze mu gye zitagendangamu. Okitegeera? So, and two, ne bw'oba wagenda eri, yes, okay, otambula obiraba. There is no law. You people who are releasing the music, you know what you want. You know, I don't think Propa understands where Bebe is going more than he understands it. I don't know. To me, I may be wrong. He is inquiring more than you, who is waiting for him to do it. So for me, I feel the Bebe every day thinks about that album okusinga Propa, because he's invested heavily. He has everything to gain, which Propa doesn't have. The idea is this: there is plans for everything. An album is pushed even for 2 years. There is no launch. Yeah,
sure. Receiving a music. I think nyimba zifumanga
kyogamba ate ya Davido tugiveeko, tuve ku ya Wizkid ya Morayo tugiveeko. Is that what you're trying to say? Mbuuza kubanga kati gwe wabadde naye alimba. There is no law. There is no law.
About time limit.
There is no time limit. Okay, we are talking about John Black's song playing heavily in Nigeria. Is it for this year?
No.
Is it for last year?
No.
So who is lying to the other now? There is no time limit. Okitegeera. What time limiting? Those time limits are this way. This is how. Maybe now I don't know if I have to school him. He might be good because he works with Spotify. He's a DSP. Spotify is a DSP. So katale kakutundira kochi music. That's all they do. Spotify is not a label. Much as there are even aggregators who offer label services like TuneCore these days, Spotify doesn't do that. What Spotify does, it puts katali otekawo music wo ne balanga tulina ennyanya leero ziva wa Bati Badru. Buli abaagala ennyanya z'emityana zizino tuzina. That's all they do. You get. The little things they can add up is to make sure that people know that your song is out there. That's all they do. That's why they do promos, wrapped ups, all those. They just try, and the thing is, they make money off your content. If people don't stream music on Spotify, they don't make money. That's why they invest in advertising. It's not only Spotify. There is Apple Music. There is Deezer. There is Audiomack. There is Boomplay. So all those, there are very many DSP. You can even say, I don't want my music on Spotify, I only want it on Apple. I can sign an exclusive. Nengamba, zebuli agala music wange. If today, the industry commanders like Rihanna, nakira nagamba, I'm removing my catalog on Spotify. Do you know what it means? Do you know what it means?
kitegeeza n'ababadde baagala okuteekayo owaabwe
agenda disrupting the whole okitegeera n'agamba nze I've signed a deal with Apple on my music
exclusive.
If Jay-Z wakes up n'agamba from today Beyonce's music is on Tidal because we need Tidal, do you know what it's going to mean? But also there are reasons why they can't go that route. They have big contracts signed. We're going to discuss all these DSPs and I'll tell you what I know. Some Propa may be right. So the thing is this, a DSP doesn't dictate the brand of an artist. There are so many ways to selling music. Digital distribution and streaming is one of them. We've never lost the mainstream. People stream what they like. Simanyi oba topic yonjivule. Omukibuzo kibadde ki?
Lwaki be bakyaliwo mu Uganda. Nakati lero
mangu. So,
ebibuzo bikyajja mu maaso.
Yeah, the plan is this. Sagadde kubanga mmanyi ero genda kimbuuza. The plan is this. Digital DSPs don't dictate how a brand should do. Never in its life did Spotify tell Rihanna how to do his business. They just have ideas of how the market is playing. It can fit you, it may not fit you. That's the reality. There is no rules. Because I'll give so many examples where those rules, rules have been broken. I think he's been in Spotify like 3-4 years. I don't know. But if I want to challenge him to bring me benchmarks, so and so did this, and it didn't follow your guidelines. You get? Yes, like I said, there are templates that if you adapt them, depending on what you want. Now, Bebe doing an album in Uganda, it doesn't mean he's not interested in the Ugandan market. No. It doesn't mean he's not interested in people here. I'll give you my background. Doing this album, I sat with Anel and I told him, you work on radio. You've been on radio for so long. I need to have statistics of how the market is playing. We did the Ipsos, Netufuna Ipsos. I think it's the closest to statistics of
yes.
So Ipsos Netwa last year, I'll use the one for last year. In December, I stand to be corrected, but that report is there. The most listened to music, consumed music on airplay, on FM, was Afrobeats. That is music from Nigeria, music from Ghana, music from Africa. Because the issue is, when we speak about Afrobeats, we speak about Nigerian music.
Western Africa.
No, but I mean African music. Because the Nigerians now, Bachi Esiba count Afrobeats, but Afrobeats has been there. The second listened to music was European and American music. The Lil Waynes, the hip hop, the R&B. So we are grouping our. So which means Uganda is consuming a lot of foreign
music.
This is even evident on the DSP. I know James has those statistics. Even if I go on my Apple Music top 100, you'll see how many songs are there. Up to now, Oshtegere are from Africa and outside Africa. Then the third listen to music is Ugandan urban music. Now, what do we call the Ugandan urban music? The new school sounds. The Zawis, Masavu, the Dax Vibes, the Ava Peace. That's the new type of music. I'm not trying to disrespect the other genres, but since Akola Stat says. So it gave me a benchmark of creating the album. Which means there is a new listenership. These are the people. I'll ask you, but how many times do you go on Spotify to stream music?
Just recent.
No, you stream when you're driving in your car. If your car is compatible. Then, cheating and never boys, most of the time, mukabala nga waliwo DJ akola ki maybe on the weekend ngoba oli ku nnyanja n'otekawo kiki, but 90% of the time you're working. You can't be streaming music, you're doing interviews, you're doing your other business. You can't. So which means there is an age group that
has time for that.
That has time for that. Usually those are 20 and below. Campus ngenda kusoma nenzira. Bana abaana bato abali holiday olwokuba abaana bamukati mulembe mwana mu aba myaka 10 omugulira iPhone. Okitegeera aba ku game abane earbuds wati omutuma bring this name, so they will tell you everything. Most of us, the music we stream is coming from mainstream popularity. That is a fact. The DJs are picking on this song, they play it. I was in a bar where mezoba nonivi and I liked it. Nengambo mai kankayimba kankewe yongezenga, so nina stress wange kankateke mu ngamvuga ngenda ku mulimu. You get? I was at church, they sang this nice gospel song, it speaks to me, I'll shazam it, ninkolechi. Most of the time it comes from this popular setting. It's hard for a new song to just drop when they're selling a billion copies go Spotify and got a mainstream input. Let them not lie to you. There has to be either digital input or mainstream input. Now, why I'm saying this, you need a management. The management needs to create a plan to market the album. So when we sat and I went through that statistics, it gave me the benchmark of creating the album. So I knew there is an audience that is going to listen to this album. I knew if Bebe wants to achieve this, is even if you're doing urban music, there's this type of ears that you have to accommodate. Then I looked at the bigger picture. What do you want to achieve again? You want to start creating your presence in different markets. Oh, maybe we should include now sounds from those markets and tap into them and collaborate with people in those markets and see how we can expand, introduce you to those markets. You get? It would be easier. John had the end of stress music. I think it's Nadia Makami's song. The first 3 lines are Luganda. When you Luganda, Rufu. Uganda. You get what I'm trying to say. So, I think it's Nadia Makami and Ben Soul or something. Yeah, I heard that song. I saw it on Trace. So, the issue is this. There is no rule. Bebe has plans to do everything. Only that, tali nyo chogerencha. Tali sichateeka nti alina okunnyonnyola proper.
But stakeholders.
Sichateeka nti alina okunnyonnyola proper kyalina okukola. Oba alina okugobera proper kyakola ki? Nsobola okuba nga nze nkikoze bwe nti nenkikola bwe nti. Okitegeera. Up to now, Davido is still doing promos for his album. But he dropped how many months ago? I think 2 or 3 months ago. Okitegeera. Wizkid is still doing the same thing. If I ask you, so, wagena next week, she was
Obudde.
Auntie Obudde Butia, Auntie, who is running? Because never again the UK Sowers no kola album listening. It's not in Bogena Vaum Gabri Mazi Kuba.
I got album listening. Like summer jams, Waro summer festivals, and
that's where he goes wrong. He have been a theory.
Nga Wizkid no tagging, and again on Cotton Rising, our agenda.
I had Wizkid about an achieve Rogena Colotia. Again, today, womb side of Tungule Waka. That's why I'm saying, well, just to make sense, but you're not making sense. There's facts on ground. If I want to sing with Chameleon right now, what do I have to do? Kati bwaba talina schedule yange. Kati nga mulinda wakola ki? All these events you pitch. Naye mwenyini akimanyi ku Spotify, let's talk about playlists. You pitch in time. No gamba, I want to be in your play. My song is going to drop. But they receive so many songs. So when you pitch for this playlist, teyugenda yo in one day. Era over time bagamba it has made up to this, it has made it to this playlist, it's in a queue olugidu tuse okitegeera gundi yalu adaptinze gundi yalukutte. There are so many songs that after they were released they hit. This lady yani Tracy Faska, the one who sang Faska, she did a song, she dropped an album. This album did hit. She goes to the UK to perform. It was on Omusajja I knew Ali Blind, Steve Wonder was supposed to play piano. The piano he requested for wasn't there. I think there was engeri Ali Blind Elijah in Germany. Niwabaawo a gap, yeah, like 10 minutes. Okitegeera. These are facts. You can Google. Those 10 minutes, Tracy Chapman, who can cover. Now, no, I can play guitar and sing, and she played fast car. You got a fast car. And the song went platinum from there. You get what I'm trying to say? So, how many festivals have played right now? And because you dropped Break the Chains, it doesn't mean we're going to go to festival yomuntu. Both our plannings, as I know, Afro Nation, their list was made last year of performers. They've already reached out to these artists because they use big players. Like Chris Brown, next year Afro Nation in August or whatever. Go and so and so. So because what I did Break the Chains, talking about Bukabu Simbo, huh? Mbori just yagede bukezi naga kangene nyimbe. We didn't ofunye vibe. Anti na vibe yonze tenda kola wangi. Oboshitegera everything bino mtendera. Oshitegera. So that's why ngami some things we talk them in theory. But you must be in a space eri practical ngo ochiyita mu kono tegera nti this is how it works. Oshitegera. That's why I like the pundits abogera ku mupira. I played soccer but I can't talk about soccer like Tony Maweji. No.
Because he went to profession.
Yeah, kunyonyera ngati buku mweriri walike enambole tolirabanga nako. Ngoga musajja ngata siba nenge bigere bikola ki byocha. That's why you see that Thierry Henry, when they talk about football, they talk about with enthusiasm. They talk about with knowledge. Amanyi kiri musawe naye gobera ovuma wano gundi tamanyi kwata tomanyi kiri wali. You get. So the thing is, some things we know them in theory, but practically they play in different places. You can pitch Gamba, I want to do this and this. BBC, I want to come. Never Gamba, baby, we are giving you on the 13th of June. Are you available? It's a take it or leave it. Are you going to fight them? When Kubira Saras and Gamba, I work with Paramount. Never Gamba, I need to schedule videos. Bojimpa Kumanda, again, Kubira Tuesday. No. There are people in queue. Kali gwogenda kuboyagala ye premiering ku Monday onyige katoli aveyagamba yali badde kubekati the same waliwo mimbi yagamba press conference oyino gikolera ku MTV simanya biki
ndachi ku local channels.
Yeah, but when circumference premiered on MTV tatite yayogera now, oh, this is nice because it was a global premiere for circumference, global premiere. Every MTV station played it. He didn't talk about it. So for you, because Oinendo was a limited, oyagala buli omaji adapting. The idea is, Bebe has time to do a media tour. What I know, he's even doing a Ugandan media tour right now.
Media tour ya Jigomi.
Anyway,
Propa yagambi media tour. There's no need of media tour because right now, ekintu kiri ku masimu wano.
Ale yuka Bebe kula bagenda kola ki.
Kati nagamba ogende ku, for instance, ya wade example, ogende ku First Club, Bebe kula ayogere ki.
Kati sina tegera nti Kasiru tamanyi kwogera.
Bati bagenda okwogera kombu tebamanyi, like they don't relate. Ye issue ye.
Esegeza abakola ku First Club baganda ba Davido. Oba baganda ba Wizkid. This is what I'm telling you. To me, I spoke with Propa. I think he has, before even we go any further, to me, we're going to, you want me to dissect what he said. I spoke to Propa before this album was released.
But that was too late. Like, you expected like 6 months before.
Yeah, but Propa say akolera Davido. Is he the one? Yeah, akolera Wizkid. this is me speaking to him. He's my friend, and me, I have nothing against him.
Also is my old boy.
Just like he has his, I'm also giving my opinion. Era yesterday namugambi WhatsApp namuga, I think we know soon. And to me, where I was disappointed, you played me. I think it was a phone call or something. Yagamba, abali ku bebe bamulesa bushi oyo yakola ki? I've played you my conversations with Propa. What was I telling him?
The plan ngagenda kujja ku board. Alete kyalina.
We spoke. Byava namusaga, muganda ngondiddeko sente bichi. Nemwate sente ziliwa zenkoze eki? Nambuza, how's the plan? Nemunyonyola, we've been speaking from when the Nambuza era ne when I saw album ya ina fulma Feb ne waji pushing. He knew about it. You get the distro head speaks with Propa all the time. And they even speak. I'm just seeing it. We spoke to James. This is what we agreed. He had these ideas. So if the distro from a level speaks to him direct, it means they have a rapport because he works with the DSP, so they speak to him. Now ideas representing, because that's his office. As a DSP, DSP representative, he has to do that because Bamusasura College, it's like me going to a bank, accountant, Natambuli stuff about my account, yet they have my money. So we spoke, and I've played you the audios. And he told me something I really once was talking about. Nangamba, don't leave the label to do everything.
Now we know
what did I respond?
No mgamba nawe ng'omuntu. You have.
I've already even used my plugs, but it's not limited. Whatever you can, come on board, do ABCD. And he told me, okay, let me create a plan.
Let me put something
together and share it. No. Then nangamba Bush, let me listen to the album. Okay, let me load you a link. That's the time we're together here. In the morning, group bateka a video of him castigating the album before it dropped. I think I remember what Bebe was talking about was, I think Propa was talking about Bebe not being, I'm not sure, but it was like, see, taina kola album mukati. I know bakuyamba bavubuka investing.
Either invest in Alpha or Beta because whatever enough of nine.
Now that is not coming from a clear, a free and fair heart. Then I watched another clip when the album dropped the next day. Album ya follow me bichi. These things are there. Me and Bebe twino butakanya bwaffe
over beliefs, political beliefs.
Yeah, political beliefs, but I'll speak about the album. So I didn't want to be in a position where I discredit is not right. Okay, where I don't want, I feel that his opinion is biased by the time that he makes such a submission. Ochitegera. Omanyi bati sikwagala naye kanjogere ku mulimo gwo. Already mbadde preamble ochitegera natinze nabika sikola ki. So whatever you're going to say, naturally I'm going to be biased. You get? So I'm in a position where I feel this is more than what I'm seeing. His opinion may be right, but because I'm already biased with the incidents. So this is what happened. When that video comes, already we read the voice note Rasta yankubirako. I wasn't part of the conversation. I was speaking to him as me and him, as a person who is in-house with a DSP, just like I speak to a his, who is for Apple, just like I speak to so many people. One of James's friends, he knows Melanie, he's my friend. She used to work at Paramount. Even Melanie there, say hi. Even in SA, we met even what I would call his bosses, and they gave different ideas. You get? I'm not trying to say tamanyi kyakola. He knows. But now I'm in this situation where I feel, and I'm going to be, olabika oli munyiivu. And because if we're on camera, I wouldn't want to make a big deal of it, but I think I know why. So when they spoke, I also spoke to him. And I told him, give me a plan. We see what to do. Yeah, you have your... so the playlists, they are editorials. These are created by... Spotify has people inside that create playlists according to genre. So you see, when you log in into Spotify and you create like an account, bakubuuza the artist that you want to listen to. No, Bruno Mars, they're going to bring you people who are in the league of Bruno Mars. Algorithms zikuletera naturally. So there are editorials into top like Spotify is tailoring and is called just to create. You know, the issue of this playlist is to amplify the music, to get it to many people, and to make it easier for you. If I'm new on Spotify and I want to listen to Afrobeats, agenda kunoonya the video singles. So ngenda ezisinga okwokya saawa zino nga top 10 Afrobeats. Ne bampaka play nenzanya nenyingire motoka yange. Era bwe zigwako yo automatically the idea of streaming on music is people listen to chebaagala when they want to. That's the whole idea. Omushitegeera. Edda kati kana akasavu akanyama we kava edda ng'ofuna CD kati nga ku album ya Break the Chains oyinza okubeerako ennyimba bbiri n'olondako ezo n'olondawo wa Davido bbiri n'olondawo n'okola album yo playlist yo ya nnyimba 3 gwe zooyagala okusinga okutula ne ki CD kyo n'okiwuliriza paka oluyimba lwe lunaakola ki. So this is the advantage now of streaming. People, you're paying money. You need to listen to what you need to listen to when you want to. So, Bebendoza Bwalaba, I don't know what happened, but Bwalaba, this person who is bringing on board for the project. My last conversation with Bebenda Nali Mugambye, I'm sending a listening link to Propa. As client, if anything, if the music goes out, you know that I've given it to, because I've been having listening sessions in studio where people come and listen. And we manage it, no recording, no stuff. But if I'm dashing out links, a listening link, you communicate. I have to communicate in Dinjiwadani, but so we're really king. I take it down to Bati Yakosechi when I danger what day, and I've been making as if Gomalo wood is and wood is and Jijayo. I'm creating, so now I know I'm creating a year. But in between there, where Colando's interview, I don't know what was na labaka clip kebate mam. So I think client was another disappointed. Kati atono muntu gwe nkubira amasimu. Ate yangamba there is no law ekuga nti bebe shouldn't like twakiwandika wanti no bebe ina koma kujina emyaka okuyimba. Nga even people like Rude Boy are dropping albums. People who are in his league. Two-Face dropped I think 2 years ago or something. And they're still making money of music. So I think client yakantu tekakola ki tekamusanyusa. Nagamba oyo ate omumanyi. Nagamba wetumuleke. Because I'm bringing you on board, but you're already not believing in the project that I'm doing. So why should I even work with you anyway? And it's not like he is the only channel. No. And I would like to say that he's not the only channel. And to Spotify. And even at Spotify, he is not the only channel. It's like me saying I'm the only channel to Paramount. I'm not. Sometimes even they book artists without even my knowledge. Now, man, come email. Oh, we've spoken to Eddie Kenzo and we need him to do some follow up. Because we have different offices. Yes, it's good and we're happy we have someone there. Is he happy to be there for us? That's the issue. So if you have an album, it's created, it's by Ugandan. He has ticked 80% of what you want. 20 and Mlemi, what do you do? Fill up. Do you water it down? Do your part. If he didn't submit it to Badru's playlist, submit it on Mukubire Simu. Oba mugambe mwana waliwo Badru temwamuweereza. Naye mukikole. So should I share with him the calendar of me as me plugs zenfunye for Bebe? Is he my boss? I don't have to. And I have no problem with maybe he analyzed it from his understanding ngalabe ebintu ebikola ki. But the issue is maybe it was too, what I feel, there are two things. It was too early for him, and then the bias erije ngamba nti the tone omanyize nakola literature twasomanga ebigambo mu novel ne bakubuuza the character of the person in the scene. You can, if someone says son of a beach, naturally there is disappointment, there is dismay. So to me, when nkiwuliriza ntegeera the way you talk, I feel there is a deeper feeling. It's not a feeling. If I'm analyzing where someone has failed, I shouldn't put too much passion because it's not my money. Oba okitegeera goolo eyo ebadde alina ogiteba naye ndowooza singa apaasinze wali naye oyo musiru abadde alina opaasinga omupiira kitegeeza mpagira ttiimu eyo angiyeeyo. Now, depending on how we see it, maybe he's a big fan and he feels this guy is disappointing him. To me, I feel in 1 week it was too early for him
And comparing
to preempt.
Davido
Where album ye, I can, this I stand, I even put money. Where I was following him properly. He did pre-release interviews, a media tour, Breakfast Club, bichi, and he was specific in America. Post, he came back home. Then he went to UK. Shopsy, who was here, was the one who was, I think he was the lead plug for the European PR album marketing for Davido. They even went on some shows together. He did concerts, pre-release concerts and stuff like that. You can do it. But I want us to remember, much as Bebe is saying he's invested a lot of money, he's not equal to the labels. The majors advanced Davido with like 3-4 million to create an album. So they have to recoup that money. Nti ne waba talina kyakola, they are going to do times 4.
Oba ino okufuba okulaba nga sente zaabwe zidda effort kuba yaba yafuna baamuwaayo.
Yes. You've had instances where Drake is fighting with Kendrick and is suing Universal for bots. Omanyi bots? Bots is like omanyi kakuyege okukola ekintu nga tekiri organic. Let's say kati birthday chains yafulumye. Bebe naafuna abaana ba Gagamero nga mutwalo gumu. N'abagulira Spotify, n'instalinga Spotify ku masimu gaabwe. N'abagamba nti buli kanaku mwe mukeere nga mukola ki?
Streaming.
Wali mu numbers kiraga nti ki? But it's not real. It's not organic. So I know him who works at Spotify, he knows there's that, I've forgotten the rule, but it's like a fair play, something like that. Nga mpira utenda fair play. So they don't allow bots. They can even, there was, I don't want to say this, but there was a saying into one of the African artists who has just dropped an album. They wanted to put down his music. Yeah, because of bots. Because they were suspecting. Now, when I was speaking to Adesope, we spoke about it. In fact, I have no problem. It was whiskey. But because it's a public secret. But when I spoke to him, Yangama, it's not him doing it. Bano bafani ba Wizkid FC. Musaigwa Wizkid oloko babisanya ne Davido. So Firebase Army ne Bebe Cool Army, they have people who are financially stable. So oloko yagamba Bush ndi mwagizi wa artist kangula obusimu 10 oyo album yo tumenye record ye okitegeera. So oli waba ata weeks 3 because kigeneze bombi bata bonna basatu Wizkid Burna Boy bata always close to Burna Boy is going to drop 2 or 3 months after Davido, 3 months after Wizkid. I don't know if you see it. So there's that pattern. So Banobe bakola zi bot says it's not coming from
the artist. It's
coming from the fan FC, the fan bases. You get. So you saw that why labels also do that. Because these numbers somehow paint the picture of success. If a song has, which is also reverse, but I'll first use the one. So there was a competition between Drake and Kendrick. They had to make sure that Kendrick wins because Gobari Bakatachi, album Igobaka was sent. bali bataddemu ono ye yali yafuluma dda naye nga tewali muliro gukola ki guseesa. So the kabifa ako using, and you saw how many streams that Kendrick is adding after the Super Bowl performance. It takes you back to my first point. These things work hand in hand. You can't say a media tour doesn't bring.
Kubakati abantu bali ku masimu tebakyala ba TV.
Anti abantu abali ku masimu balaba ki? Spotify ina akalango konna kekola about nti kikakakano. Ebintu byonna bye tugenda kukola ku Spotify bive no mu mainstream. Okitegeera. Omuyimbi bw'alanga natadde oluyimba. Kati if I drop my music on Spotify and I don't announce, how are you going to know?
You can't.
Yeah, that's why David bakola the traders album. So bw'alanga, guys, my song is out. Go here and stream it. Yakubulya ne weluli. Okitegeera. So to me, the idea is this. To me, first of all, I feel munyivu nnyo over what I don't know. It's too early because the album can be pushed even for 6 months. That's what I know. Okitegeera. There is no room after 1 month, no. Depending on the region. Akayimba album so gita kati, akayimba kamu ko walito suubira ate ne kakwata after. Ne kasika zindala. Rihanna has not dropped a song in, I don't know exactly, but it's like 12, 14 years. James Mubuze, the people who are streamed most on Spotify, she's among the top 5. Which means nti enyimba zezali made by Spotify, activities zezali off streaming, they were hits. If a song is hitting, I'm going to stream it. Usually we stream popular songs. You get. There's 2 ways. If you're building a listenership, it's either built by engagement. Okitegeera. Fan base banaye, follow me on Spotify, blah blah blah. No funa mutwalo gumu. That's why they say abantu abata single they build. Okitegeera. The shortcut is kuba hit. Okitegeera. Abantu banje bagenda otandika okwa. Kati wabata andiko kuuliriza. Maybe. Oh, it's not maybe. Spotify is suggesting enyimba ze endala. Bwe mala okuwuliza akayimba akairasta banda genda. Bwe mpuliriza ngate natali kwagamba attach to kati oyo nno kamu ono ayimba byenjagala kamukole ki kanfuke monthly release kanfuke listen naawe. That's how you build. It's more like an online radio.
Yogwira kayimba noga nenga kanyumi.
Olina jaga bana gwe owulize bya ate waliwo ke yayimba. That's how it grows. Okitegeera. So look at amuyimbi kyo waffe. I don't know about the exact numbers. I think Joshua is among with a single listenership. I know around 500, 400. I'm not sure. 600 listeners.
Massive.
Yeah. Kenzo ina meka.
That's money.
We can shake here. But Kenzo is again one of the most followed people on YouTube, which Joshua is not. Does that make something? Let's take it. Now with Bebe, Edge wasn't playing. The league, yeah, Bebe. Chameleon, Bebe, Bebani, they're one of the greatest people. Even Bobby Wine, bring him on. He's a very big figure. Let's see his Spotify numbers.
It is reflecting.
You see what I'm trying to tell you? Now, this generation space, you don't expect Bebe to shoot to 1 million listeners. Ngana ye mwennyini Spotify tanajimalako emyaka 3. Mfuna. He has to build it. And you see, his numbers have been growing ever since he started dropping this album. The first single, second single, because he's been intentional about streaming. He had a fan base. Nenga tajikira jigamba stream my music. Nega dia kugamba ati olichali wange naye stream my music. Because he's being intentional about it. You get. So why you need the media tour is you're taking your songs to places they've never been. You're introducing yourself to markets you've never been.
You are visible.
You're explaining the narrative. Now here is a sound that Bebe has been doing for 25 years. He's dumping that sound. He's an upcoming mupya new sound eno jakola. Karate established Bebe Joshua. Because he does it normally. Bebe has to live into that kind of culture. he's an upcoming, and you will reach upcoming. If you sit back and think things are going to be nga we bibadde buli gwa sound, so you're winning a new fan base. Okitegeera, the album dropped and 16 songs were in the top 100 like for a whole week. What does that make? It makes a statement. If I was proper, because competitor with Apple Music, ntukira nga Spotify, Uganda waliwo ekigenda mu maaso, omuyimbi yatadde album ennyimba 16 zaabadde mu ki top 100. What can we do? Okitegeera, Spotify is weak here, very weak. We have an agent who is not trying to help them grow here. Let's use Gundi. Joshua has the #1 song on Apple Music. We have a Ugandan who has a big song in Nigeria. What can Spotify do now? How are we getting more artists? Because the only thing I've heard that Spotify did was at Motive. But bw'obanga abayimbi ba Uganda bagamba waliwo ekintu ku Spotify kati ajati
masterclass temwagende yo nayo nsonga eriya.
But how did they advertise it? How did they advertise it? How did they reach out to people? Okitegeera, when they were doing the listeners party, I had a meeting for 5 hours. Remember, I need to see the people you've invited. There was a list I made. There's a list Bebe made. There was a list, and everyone, Darius. James your invite should have gotten to you. I called Nembaga, make sure James gets his invite. Wasn't he invited?
He was.
Why? It's me doing my role. Do your role as well. Before you even cast together, what about, let's discuss your role. So guys, I'll soon, but now we are talking. You get? So this is a culture we need to break. You give yourself this entitlement. You, what are you doing?
What is your contribution?
Me, I can brag. Every platform I've been on, I've done. Okay, people say, but I've done. I've tried. You, what are you trying? You get? Because, Move is doing all the stuff for Joshua. I don't know this. I'm starting to be corrected. But I don't think what is happening with Joshua and doing all these Spotify gigs has something to do with him. Yes, one may be wrong, but the issue is he's the trending guy. I've worked with these big brands. They always look for the trending people. So which means what Joshua is doing behind is what is getting him out there. And that's the lesson for all artists. Oyinza okuba nga gwe munene n'otulaba n'ogamba nze gwe balina okuyita teri teeka ligali gwe balina okuyita bajja kuyita ozambi kubanga they're after numbers. Okitegeera. So going back to your point, there was no rule. Bebe will go wherever he wants to go, depending on the money, depending on the finances he have, but depending on the schedules of those people. Even where the people I'm affiliated to, so like because I did break the chain, when you get watching, and then when you proceed here. So you have a bat, you know who this get bad and a bat. Okay, what do I now? If you teach so color, so can we say one of which then I join?
Okola party yo.
Kyoga nti bati bwe mba njagala kati nkeera bukezi nenga njagala kubeera ku Vibe Live nenkugwako bugwi. Era nga bushi tukole mkaita kantu tukola akantu ku Friday. Newe mba njagala kulanga show yange. Banga bush tujja kuwa mention. Naye flyer yo kuyita ku Vibe Live byanjawulo mu. Oyina okudipana. Bwe mba njagala kubeera kasuku nino dipana. You get what I'm trying to say. So, yes, what I'm saying is I stand to be corrected, but I feel that it's sentimental. There is something deeper. That's why I asked you, maybe he feels I blocked him. Now, he's making it clear to the public. Client, na yemu nyini yamuzemu ngachi. Nanga batwayogera emirundi ki. Omukitegera. So he
wasn't sidelined at any point.
Even this year when we were discussing like nominees for being, I fought for Ugandan artists. Never mukuba. But era mbera mu room ngolwanyi. Because nchimanyi jiwako mukuteka mu Uganda nange ndo mansa bwe wala region yange teva muntu. we Bush retainer mu jail because takyalina kyatugasa ewaabwe terina kivaayo market timufuna. I fought. I woke up one day and ngamba, you guys need to come my country and do MTV Awards here. I fought. So why don't you fight as well? Fight. Bring those people here. But it's not about Spotify alone. Spotify is not God. No, I can have you my music on Apple Music alone. And still I get the same money. You see, the funny bit is, people think, I'll ask you, if I have one song, Ngarina streams chukumi, and I have 100 songs, zina stream twenkana no li watu twenkana
mbamwe
naye kati feche tufa. That's why you see a lot of upcomings, even if you drop 1 minute and a half song, put it out there. Ochitegera. Hey, chorus emune verse yizo kunyumbiranga zijimpuliriza. Ochitegera. People don't have time. But you want ulimba lumu lubere 1.5 million. Ochitegera. What is the streaming culture ya one? That's the idea we started with, Nenga Bebe. Even just doing the album, we need to start working on the streaming culture. You've seen the narrative.
A lot of people who have just
you've seen the PR. You see now this album has also grown the stream, like awareness about streaming. We were intentional with it. Make sure Bricho you get talk about streaming. Get people to understand the streaming. You get
about the album. Concerning endala mwateekako collabos ntono nnyo, yet you need to tap into the stream or streaming base ye. Maybe tugamba omuyimbi kati jagambye oya Yami Aldo olwimba lwe lukola bulungi, Joshua Baraka, so you needed more like 50% collabos from bigger artists abalina following.
There is no law kyenyawa omulira Mr. Propa tewali teeka. Music is just not about streaming. That's why I said I can build my streams from off the DSP. If Selector J's make my song the biggest song in the country, streams are going to come naturally. Is it a fact or it's not a fact?
Because
they stream from the biggest songs. Choga the video yakera ko natuka streaming already Omale. Kiss Daniel yakera ko natukubira nti mu streaming. If one DJ can change, so we've seen challenges on TikTok, and the song gets viral. Tyler didn't wake up one day to go, well, try to mumanyi. We just saw this girl who is called Tyler, imba water, challenge TikTok. It becomes your favorite song. You add it on your playlist.
Before you know it, the rest of her music naenga. So
let us also talk about collaborations. People don't know how many collaborations are on the Baby album. They were on those songs that didn't make on the album. You get, when you collaborate with someone, there are so many reasons. There are so many reasons, and there are issues attached. I may not deliver the song in time of the album. There are people we collaborated with who have sent in the masters now.
Just now.
Now. Hey, Monday I got one. The other week I got another one. When I go, hey, you guys dropped the album because I know baby akola tali kugwe. You reached out to them. They didn't reach out to you. You get.
So why not program here?
Yeah, there are people who have been on media tours. Hati biye ninga yeto mubuza chichi akola ku Breakfast Club. Walu akayimba keke bako mu America. Ku Breakfast Club ngaya baddeko. But they got to know him now. It's like me putting a billboard in New York. Yes, to you may not make sense, but 5-10 people will find out who are inquisitive will find Oyani. This is how we do things. You get. So the collabo part has two sides. Yes, sometimes when you collaborate with someone who has like a bigger listenership, you can tap into that listenership. Depending on you, on the type of music you're doing. Maybe olulimbo lumule lwakoze lwe speaking to me. Okitegeera njagala Master KG no yimba naye. Newe ntandika okuwulira ezizo ng'ate kidandali kirala. Nyizo tekitegeeza nti ngenda kubeera listenawo. No. He knows that. It's a must. I mean, it's not a must. Okitegeera. The biggest part is if that collaboration hits.
Era nayo ogibeerako.
Oba nfuna. So better alina shooting a video na yemi.
Sente take a promotion at least.
I know shooting a video because it's a promotion. Okitegeera. I know genda bakole byonna birina okukolebwa. Oba nfuna. Sometimes I'll ask you. Very good example. 5 album. Have you listened to it at Davido? He has a Chris Brown song there. Is it the biggest song right now? His biggest song is with Omale, a Nigerian artist. Do you see? Waliwo Chris Breezy. We know him as a global star. Ibaluwana ne baluogerera ne balukolerako PR. Let me ask him, because I heard him, I don't know if you have it on the list, about the focus song. What was Davido's focus song? Okitegeera. But as I speak now, okitegeera. So, sawa ya lero Omale yakwatiridde kolabo ya Omale yekwatiridde album. Oba okitegeera kyengeza kugamba. So kyogamba nti collaborations zize yakola mu America tezamwongera ku bantu.
Zamwongerako.
But impact eriwo. We are dancing to this one. Ne Uganda one wenyini, because Ugandans have an ear. But ne one terulimu. But when I got Apple Music top 100 mweruli. Bogenda ku Spotify Uganda simaye bichi playlist simaye bichi mweruli. Okitegeera. So the collaboration part is this. They did we did the collaborations which were able to be done. And there's a deluxe. And I'll break it. The deluxe is mostly collaborations. But this album firstly was to introduce him. There are so many reasons why there are those 3 collaborations. In fact, there were supposed to be 4. There is a plan for them. Some of them may be remixes of this one. Some of them may be new songs, new versions, reimaginations. There is no law. Don't think that people have to do what you want. Yes, you're thinking as a creative. You're creating your own template, but it doesn't mean I have to do it your way. I'm also a creative of my own. I'm speaking as Bebe Cool. And he's been successful for 25 years. Let's not forget. Yeah, I don't think he can walk his journey. Yes, he's made mistakes, he's made whatever he's made, but I don't think he can walk his journey. Especially in Africa, tusanze ebintu nga byangu nga bo ate tebabiina.
Yalimu okulinya bus.
Yeah. So the issue is you can collaborate with someone because of it can be a musical reason. You've sat there, you like them, they like you, you feel you guys can match, and you just say, tuikole akantu. You can collaborate with someone because of a commercial reason. We need to go into that market, introduce us into that market. Or we need to build viewership or something like that. You've seen collaborations. Omuyimbi alina million 10 ne collaboration eneta wezadde million view. You've seen them. So you have the amount of collaborations that Burna Boy did, I think, was it African? He did a lot of collaborations in America. A lot. And then he did one with Ed Sheeran. And we know what happened. We all know what happened. His presence in the UK is to find when you cap baby sawa mitwalo mukaaga. America tanakuba kya mitwalo mukaaga. Bali mukuba kasanvu mutwalo. And also the statistics is really clear. You get what I'm trying to say. But he has collaborated with them. So you can just collaborate out of vibe. So there is no law in teaching. You get. There is no so kati nkugambye nti Chris Brown azina mmeka, Wizkid azina mmeka ku album
nyingi. Ku collaborations kwenyini, he mentioned that by the time of release Joshua Baraka might munaba mukiriya.
But is the song playing? Is it striked?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Someone sometimes I know busungu. Gwoga Joshua never namu clearing but one challenges every day. Joshua is in the song. So Sugar Joshua food day. I can even clear a song after a year. There's no problem. Because that if a song has made 1,000, it will be registered. So I can clear a song usually, and I'll teach him this. The legal aspect of clearing songs before they're out is to avoid position change. But tukozolimba now to agree in the 50-50. Depending on how we've agreed. Wenzo kuba tuwandivasinze. Ngambye nzinze Bush najja nenkubamu awo ekigoma n'onyumirwa no vibinga n'oteekamu ne kikwata tetwagreeinga. Kati lukomyewo ozongamba ompa 30 nkugamba ati nedda njagala 70 nga tolina kyakola. That is the only angle. Okitegeera. But I can play a song when I want and I don't know how he's sure. I don't know how he's sure. But it's Cheswaza Nyuboga. The song is not cleared. I think ayaruyimba ali mukola challenge nego yaruyimba naye. I think ajeru리 tebalu striking nze. Okitegeera.
Big thing. But I said time release. The mode of how you guys raise the music. Teyali proper. Mwadde nyimba zonna ne musteeka. Naye ng'agamba akagambo time release. The bayinza okuba takamanyi.
Sikyateeka ndi alina okukamanya.
You release one song n'olufulumya olulala nga date ziraga nti luba lufulumye nga lupya. Naye kati zino wona ogenda otuuka asoma lutwale wa distributor ng'olede date nkadde assuming you have shot a video.
No. Kankubuuza.
Time release sokoji highlighting. Bugamba naffe tubujjeeyo mu Spotify.
I think saga kuvaawo mwene interview nga ndinga ngalaga nti I disrespect James. I mean, by the way, my respect for James is not. He's never been bad to me as a person. I'm not in Kunyanyola. So that's where my respect is. It's not a professional level. He does his thing, I do my thing. We're not in the same business. Yes, our businesses collide. They don't collide, they got up by yeah. But this is the thing. You had time to speak to Bebe Cool. As a person who is at Spotify, if you had called him,
last year,
what is your rollout part? Let me front this project with Spotify. Let me front it. What is the plan? There is no law. Spotify and ekitabo kya distribution nga kirina etteeka article 11BA you guarantee this is what you're supposed to follow. Okitegeera. When you want to release an album, what DSPs tell you, notify us like 3 months prior. So we create space for you. The space is for you to be on those landing pages. Okitegeera. So people get to know that you've dropped and usually obeerako 1 week or 2 and then newaleeta abalala or even a day. So what you achieve from there when you start growing, and it's what I've been telling you, nti news obutayingira playlist yo but akayimba kangwe katabuka ennyo nga gwe mwennyini wetaaga okukateeka ku playlist yo because jengoma oteekako ennyimba ezakayo playlist yange balisteners gye bakoma okubeerako. So if I say mbumbifinga oluyimba lwa Bebe sijja luteeka ku playlist yange naye nga lwe luko oba olwa Joshua oba olwani oba olwa Spice Dana and siluteekako then nange bagenda ku playlist ya bat. You need listenership. Okitegeera. So the thing is this. I don't know wangu botulimu. I don't know why he was thinking ahead. Simanyi watuli mu mmotoka. Nga batuladdeko zino ebipapula bino ebyokukubo. Okitegeera. The thing is this. There is no time release depending on he's looking at it as a DSP. I'm looking at it as an artist. My product is out there. Like I said, a song will still come back and play. He's looking at it from a playlisting aspect. If my song hits after 1 year and it's a global hit, you won't put it in your playlist? But because it was released 10 years ago, why do we do Christmas playlists? Why do songs pick up on Valentine? I gave you an example of Kendrick. Ono musajja yani ono this American nyimba ze bakola mu video game. I've lost his name. There's this guy, American artist. I've lost his name. He's a hip hop guy. Most of his songs, Bazuko. There's a game. It is very famous. So one of my bosses, Alex Okosiyanku, Bush, what are you doing? There's this video game that is launching on YouTube. I want you to watch the launch. So there was a premiere. Well, I was the PlayStation, so they were premiering this game. And it had, I don't know, about over 1 billion views, like viewership. Abaana bonna mu nsi abasinga abato bali ku YouTube nga bakola ki
balaba
game erina ki. So his songs are a soundtrack. When this thing I'll share with you, you can put the picture there. So his songs were a soundtrack to the game. So they are using most of his music, and let me tell you, his music went up on Apple Music after they launched that game. Same way Kendrick's music went up. Same way Usher's music went up after Super Bowl. You get? So there is no rule what Bebe is doing or what he has to do to me, because I can only do little as me. Also, the artist I know Salaucha Akolachi, and I don't dictate what he decides. My job is almost done. What is the next level is what he decides. When he tells me, Bush, I need to do this, I'm like, oh, I know, but I did what I think is the plan. And then when Bebe called me, the first thing I did is build a team. An AR team, a PR team, a marketing team, and a production team. They do the production. There's Darius, who is the lead PR and strategist. So everything we've been doing has been strategic. Yes, yes. And also, I don't blame him, because he's been this person for the last 25 years. He knows his way about controversy. Sometimes I saw and then it plays about because he knows what to do. So what I'm trying to say here is, there are theories or templates that you're getting because whatever system, yes, they work, but there is no law. These templates or these benchmarks are to be redesigned. They can be maneuvered. They can be reshaped. There is no law. Ngegamba nti mu musiraamu oyina osaba emirundi 5 olunaku, era bw'otasaba 5 nti oba tofa toli musiraamu. Bw'otasiiba mbu oba ovuddeko obusiraamu. Channels nyingi. And that's what I want artists to understand. Tekiri ku kintu kimu. Yes, you may not achieve that. You may not do an album like Break the Chains, yes, but still, there are so many ways to do things. I'll tell you, how many videos of Joshua have you seen? He's doing a lot of small pills, digital pills, and they're pushing his music. But he's investing in the audio. So budget here to take audio, but now small digital pills. They still push the song.
Talking about audios. Yeah, you get there. Produce from Nigeria 7:5. Amulese. Nayongeramu olukubi. Omulala amulese ali wakati awo nayongeramu olukubi. No, ogenda okakananga oluyimba luli mu $8,000. Maybe because of babloka babirawo wakati awo. Mwe interview ya James Propa. Otafaatu andisi.
Yagambye ki?
Nti producer mu Nigeria 7:5. Kane ne ya linkize yo deal wakati nateekawo ebbirizi. Ne wabaawo n'omulala batuuta ku producer n'ateekawo olukubi. That's a lot of money.
I also want to ask a question. Okay, before I even go any further, what is wrong with that?
I think it feels like the artist is overcharged.
let me also ask a question. His services there, baby, were they free?
No.
Why was he charging if he works for them?
Because he mentioned about Vehicle having $1 million for your album and he thought he would get something.
It's your job as you work for the DSP. Why do you charge? It's your job. What are they paying you to do? Olaba, juxtaposition. Kasuku kutumideko yanzikiza akagabo ka juxtaposition. The issue is this. I wouldn't say it's what happened because Bebe had direct contact with all these producers. There was no one hidden. There's zones. If he wants to know how much was given, he knows. He has sheets. He has everything.
Invoices.
He has everything. He has everything. I have 2 A&Rs who are in Nigeria. These were meant to do my on the ground work. Artist and repertoire. So those are in charge of the creative, the music creation. So I made a list of, because this is the idea. Bebe didn't want, there are so many songs that are nice that didn't make the album, but Bebe refused them because they remind him of his old sound. Nagamba, if it's going to be a deluxe, let him do a deluxe of that. If it's going to be an EP, let him do an EP. He wants an album that is strictly something fresh that he's going to enjoy to do. We've spread out that album. Till the last day, we did tweaks, which is allowed. And that's what makes a good project. Flexibility. We did tricks. There is an emerging sound in Europe right now. It's called Afrotech. I think Mr. Information should know that. There is an emerging sound. When we sent this album to some of the people that I know, DJ Do, Digga, Dumi, these are people we used to send. Garrick Williams, I used to say, I send them the music. What do you think of this album? A, B, C, D, this is nice, this I don't think, these are nice. Some of the advices we took, some we didn't take. And some I was specific. This is the reason why we're doing it. Like, oh, now I get it. I hear you, man. No, it's okay. And most of the advice they gave, we picked. I told him, there's things that are changing. Instead of you doing this is where we are. If you want to play here, do this. We have collaborations in France that we didn't nail because of time. We have songs in French that we didn't release because of time. Because of styles. Some styles even were hard for Bebe to do. You get. But he was after that diversification. I want an album where you see all those 16 songs, they're grouped like in groups of 3s or 4s.
This year.
So if he goes to South Africa and he's going to do a media tour or he's to push himself, he has 3-4 songs he can perform and they relate. If he goes to Nigeria, there's 4-3 sounds that he can. If you don't like this, try this, try this, try this. You get. If he's back to East Africa, there are sounds that are Afrobeat, but they relate to
East Africa.
You get. So the bottom line was, let's be open-minded. Let's be futuristic. Let's be visionary. Let's see. Let's not always be behind, because the issue with us Uganda, we're always 10 steps behind. Let's move ahead. There are songs on the album that are just strategic. Wechikwatayo, well and good. Wechitakwatayo, have nothing to lose. Did you enjoy it? When you're doing it, did you have fun? Yes, that's all that matters. So to me, I'll tell you, I had people in this region who have more information than I have, who have more understanding of what, and I made sure I go in depth. If I was to tell a Ugandan producer to give me an Afrotech sound, I wasn't going to nail it. I was going to get samples of
Already you.
But if you listen to those songs, they are fresh. That is something I'm proud about. They are fresh. It is, we use the best people to do that. Gobi is one of the best. Or money. He's one of the best. So if I want to do, and they were architects, sound, Afrotech. There are 3, 4 producers who are doing that same sound. It's not amapiano, but it's the mix of EDM and amapiano. So this is the sound that European DJs who have adopted. It's a sound that abantu abazungu be DJ abazungu bali tibategera amapiano engeri bamukuba era balina kupangisa ba Uncle Waffles alibaga ne baga sound tegenda tuyitako ne batandika okutweaking ebintu. So you've had a lot of big songs nga bazi reimagining or Bana Boy baluzeemu mu that version. Boy bogenda on all these DSPs, you hear those versions nga bazikoze buto. No, I remember even in America. Remember when EDM just came? They were reimagining nyimba za Rihanna bani nga baziddamu. David Guetta bani, you know, Kanagavuka, Avicii,
Steve Aoki.
You know, yeah, they've been reimagining these songs for festivals, and they're given rights, and they also take rights of those reimaginations. It's allowed. So I have, through friendship, I have networks and people in different regions who are helping me pull off those things. Is it wrong to pay them? Is it wrong? Because they are working. Some of the producers here have managers, even in Uganda. If I want to work with Atin, I have to go through bookings. But in Bena Nainga Mukute Mungaraga Naikati, Kubira go on your booking session. If these producers have managers, I'm not saying but I just want to change his mentality. If they have managers, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Producer ayombye, artist ayombye, category vero nyigirawa. 2, has he reached out to these producers? And he has proof that, maybe the fees are exaggerated. Has the producer written an email, I'm not happy? You get? That's why I'm saying it goes back to feeding your moon, to submission your yavude at which point. To me, I feel he's angry over something. And as a friend, I told him, I think you're pissed. But if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. But I've said the issue, to me, what I know, I don't have, yes, some things he's very right, because he has an insight from a DSP's perspective. He's very right. What I want to change is what you told me, that he thinks something should have been done in a certain way, and I blocked them. I didn't do that.
Even choice of the song you guys pitched, hips don't lie.
That's why I've answered, it is strategic. You see, it's not even strategic. Music is subjective. You've had people give reviews on that album. Everyone has their favorite song.
Everyone.
We haven't gotten that one song where people are saying yes. We've gotten a quick spark. The first week, first day, you saw Home. Second day, you saw Check. I take Hidden Agenda. I take Check Nakoma. That's what is happening. Even when you guys came for the private listening, even the people I was sending, if I show you, I have all the stats. It was confusing. So some decisions became to the preference. So the people who chose, I'll tell you, when Circumference was being chosen to be dropped, everyone outside Uganda was choosing Circumference apart from the people in Uganda. Now even the people who came to listen, I even have your notes, who came to listen in studio, Benon, who they were choosing Circumference. But there is a journalist who says it's a bogus track of the album. It's being subjective. But if you look at the dashboard, it's one of the songs that are being streamed mostly outside Uganda. It's in Nigeria, I think one register, I think Sound City, it went until number 7, 8, and then didn't make number 1. But you get, when Shopsy was talking here, he's the big impact in Afrobeat community. His Circumference is one of his biggest songs. You get, we've had this, I don't know where they've reached, but there've been discussions of even remixing it with the UK guys. You know, I'll show you a clip where Dumi is one of the biggest people in the UK, and he's the person behind the current whiskey shaping. So this is the song. Music is subjective. So for you, you may want Natch on Onayagara Namutebi. That's how music is. It is especially when you have too much on the platter. Music is subjective. According to your instincts, you may like something that I may not. So I feel that decision is subjective because he didn't listen. You listen to the original check. You get. Some of them were not like people used to choose it, and it's one of those songs that they chose. But what if it's not playing right now? Yari Gambage. You see why I'm saying that Nayari shady. In a way, you're looking for the song that is being successful. So how did we know? Like when we have a studio, avamo agamba nkoze hit. Bwekituuka eno senakapesa ebulamu nyenkizaka ate ogwo omugere mwagukopi nga gwe negujjukira nti like sample giina Bush n'agamba ate munaye oba wayimbye bulala but you what did you want okitegeera. So we are being, music is subjective. I may like reggae, there are people who like home. Him himself yagamba, was it him? No, Kasidi yagamba, may I feel home Ruyimba. Home is the last song. No, before Afrotex song, because Afrotex they're the last ones that we did. We did like five, six, and then we only put 3. I'll tell you, there was a very big fight between me and Bebe about those songs, a very big one. But when everything was done, that's when I played him home, and I'm like, there's this song that we are creating that I feel people enjoyed something from Love Every Day that you've not done again. But again, it is also sweet in that style. That was the only soft spot it was going to fit. So for us to achieve that song, we're supposed to take it, that route, and maybe modify it a little bit. But that's how it was going to be. So when that's the time I mean Murade, sorry. And then that night I remember I like Bama Lokulia and I just played it. So every song I've been playing, period and Demazina, Rabadayagara. I don't know the range, but when you bring another one, so music is different. It's subjective. What you pitch as your focus song may have so many reasons. There may be a big belief. So if it wakes up and it hits globally, what will he say? Is he going to reverse his words? That's why I said it's too early. 2 weeks
to judge.
Yeah, it's too early for you to judge an album in 2 weeks. Honestly, does he know what is being done behind those? To me, I felt it was too early for him to, from his position, and I speak professionally from his position. I feel he's beyond being a critic. At this point, I feel now he's really beyond being just a normal critic. There are some people who talk about music and I don't give a damn. Because people don't know that you guys work in the media space. You've worked on radio. You know, our brother just died, rest in peace, Bush baby. If you speak to him, he had too much wisdom about music. Next generation is a way to moment. That's why he became my close friend. Danyong achali East Africa TV. Namwesiba ko da ngajagala naye presenting ayo nganchano nyambera okitege ngamwandikira bisera walingawo MySpace
na text message
text message unjika twagera nnyo ku MySpace naye MySpace oba I think it was MySpace okitege nga twamutwala tusindika bu better ka movie stuff like that to play videos. So the issue is for me, I feel from his position, yes, he's enjoying, he's being a critic, a music critic, and we all know the criticism in Uganda. Music critiquing as a profession. People just do current affairs critiquing. They go out with it. If you want to critique current affairs stories, this man, why which those ones are easy. But when it comes to a profession, you must understand it. And I want you to understand it from different perspectives, not you. Oshtegera. Don't be objective. Understand that yes, if I was the one, I would have done this. But maybe Bart had a different idea. What was he trying to achieve? What did you want to achieve? I wanted to do reggae. Oh, reggae. What type of reggae? Oh, skanking reggae. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay. I feel this bass is not reggae because there's this pattern. Oh, if where you put it, is it what you want? Yeah, and you got the color Mexican hip hop reggae. There is no law that refuses you about perfect.
Alpha Blonde
No, what did Onomona Bob Marley? His reggae is different. Oshtege, his reggae, he has those heavy hip hop drums. Oshtege, Damian, he does those heavy drums. Nayate what did reggae mutufu? Tuli Karim. Oshtege, it's a rim snare and most of the time. So the issue is this. To me, I feel
as we are winding up.
Yeah, he was too fast. He was too fast to judge. I'll give it a month and see how it plays. Some of the things he said are already being done outdoors. Only that there is nothing, there is no reality, or I don't know, like he's not being informed because he doesn't have to be informed anyway.
And the people has given an ear this time around to everyone.
Yeah.
Even calling people.
But if he made sure he called you, it means he's trying to do his best.
He needs your input.
He needs your input. So maybe you let him down. Yeah, that's what I would say on camera. He let him down because he made that effort to call you 3 times. Nkuzanye the voice note yenga nayo muri agamba Rasta yankubirako. Before even I engaged him, Rasta yali yakola ki? Oba ofuna. So the issue is, then why do you come back and then paint this picture that is different? That's why I go back to the other issue. I feel which I don't know why. Because in 2 weeks, in 1 week, soon on a project that you didn't even put a coin. I've never seen him castigate a Passes album. I've never seen him castigate Zexi Obazawi. Like this one, the tone was there. You could feel. I mind that today bang and analyze it. I wanted to listen. There's some things that he said, I sent to the distro. Remember, oh, there's this thing. And I was like, okay, but if this one didn't tell it to you direct, because Beth was talking to him direct. Bush, what do you do? Okay, I spoke to James, he says this. You get, which means they've reached out to him as a Spotify employee and as a person who is in position to make things happen. You get, if I tell him right now, I have millions and can he make my song big on Spotify? Does he give me his guarantee? If I tell him right now, millions and chukumi, because I want him to come out at story. Can he give me the biggest song to be streamed in Africa on Spotify? Can he say that? Question. Because I want, but I got yes. Because if my song is the most streamed in Africa, it means I'm going to recoup that money.
This is come out.
So when banga in a billion streams in Africa in a population here. Okay, to say 20 million in a return. So when phone a million chukumi, senders and what is comeo. Because a million streams Spotify telling going whom a bill is I'm not sure, but it's around there. So when bang and now million chukumi. Basi ziza. Nene nesa tu jango one. When Jimo achikola, watch that chikola. You get, he knows
different
factors. There's levels to these things. There are levels. So once you're castigating someone, I don't want to jump on these other people because for them they analyze current affairs. I spoke personally to a professional person who I know this person has something to offer. Stop having emotions. If you can't do something, do it. We're in positions also some other brands that we're associated with where we can fix things I don't. I call artists just because it's so good, but I call artists. Give me your video. I think it's nice. There are people who send me, and I know taking a huita, but I'll do my best, and I copy in the email, and I'll give you feedback. Maybe this. Some of them I know the reasons why. And I went to run away. So maybe video in national. This is what they are choosing right now. Buli mwaka waberawo amateeka amapya waberawo bwewampadde ennyimba zo nakugamba nti you want them to be mixed in such a way, but then there are mistakes that are done that I feel they're going to give us problems. They can be corrected here. Neteswaze eri oba okitegeera naye nze mpereza omuntu angaya bush okitegeera ndomupolota but why do you give me such garbage in garbage out? They're not going to change a lot. Then you're paying a lot of money. There are small basics that we can change, you know. If it's a clean mic, let's revoice and have a clean mic. If it's, you know, flex speech, we want to get the right notes, let's do that. That's why in Abu Gambia, go to Ronnie, go to Anel, do this thing. Anel is an engineer, so if he's recording, he'll make sure so I gave you the best people. Ronnie is very good with studio recording. He's an artist, he's a singer. So I knew he's going to bring some more color to the voicings that you're going to do. You get? So then what double combination? And I've worked with them. I feel you were in safe hands. I wish they get. So the issue is we're in places to fix things. If we are going to act in this way, and I'll state it again, I don't want to be distracted by the other people. Because if I challenge them to sit and we talk music, they won't even stand a minute.
Vibe Life UG Bushingtone Producer, go to Badena, Mubere Burunji, Mwera.